Speak your name for everybody.
I'm Karen.
God, is it Goddess Karen?
Yes. I know how to have that fierce goddess presence.
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I have financial anxiety that wakes me up at 3:30 every morning, and I'll wake up out of a deep sleep. I wake up and I'm like, oh, you're so dumb. Oh my God, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's not even my waking self that does this to me. It's my sleeping self that wakes me up with a hot flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
punch it through. Yeah. Just petrified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple ways to work with that. Obviously, one of them is to ask, what are you afraid of? And there's some obvious things.
Right on.
First of all, fear, other than the pure instinctual fear, is always a signal that we're believing a lie.
Okay.
And the lie is trying to point us to a truth. I'm never gonna have enough. I'm gonna be broken alone. That's the lie. And the truth is, I've always had enough, I always will, I'm more than enough. So the fear points to a lie that points to a truth that you are meant to apprentice under. So now if that's the truth, I'm more than enough and I always have enough, that is a principle. Now you must apprentice under it. So you have to say, okay, if I believed that, how would I feel? How would I act? How would I be? Visualization isn't about attracting anything. It's about tuning into the frequency of the broadcast where it's already playing.
Right.
So that you can feel the feeling tone and the frequency of abundance, of aliveness, of activation. And if you're apprenticing, you know how long an apprentice stays in the workshop with the master? All day long, every day, even moves in and lives with the master. So you need to move in with this master teaching. Really be with this every day. And I really want you guys to hear this. This is so important because think about how many years or how many ways in which you've been conditioned with this belief. And then we think, I'm just gonna have one great moment of inspiration, or I'm gonna say yes to my yes, and then all the rest is just fine. No, you have had an evolutionary glimpse of who you really are. You've activated it. Now you know what you're going for and growing into. Mm-hmm. But now you have to design a way of life and a practice. Because here's the thing, what most people's practice ends up being is worry. You're like, I'll meditate for 10 or 20 minutes in the morning. I'm knowing the truth. God is all there is. I'm abundant. And then it's worry. And then maybe I'll stop for a moment in the afternoon and read an affirmation, listen to a podcast. And then it's worry, fear, struggle, strive, worry, fear, struggle, strive. And maybe if I'm lucky at the end of the day, I'll do a little journaling and go to bed. What are you building there? I'm more than enough and I have more than enough. All of my needs are met abundantly on every level forever. First of all, you have to be talking to yourself like that all day long. Let's say you spend 3 hours a day listening, reading, watching. If you really want to get this, whatever this is for you, you need to take those 3 hours and look at, if that's not serving the healing or the embodiment of the thing that is most critical to me, then I'm not going to be reading, watching, listening, or doing those things right now. I'm going to be spending those 3 hours in my day reading, watching, listening, affirming, visualizing, in training, in apprenticeship, until you know beyond a shadow of a doubt. And then you can also look and find opportunities and ways, and you already did it. You took a step. An action from the truth is an affirmation in work clothes. You're a moving affirmation now. And that's great. That's why we must have action. Faith without works is dead, right? We have to take the action because your actions are your true religion. What you do says more about who you really are and what you believe than what you say. Obviously, right? You have to find actions to take every day. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. Like for me, it was one of the first ones was I wanted organic apples and I wanted to start eating more clean, and I had just taken a stand to adopt a life of luxury and to live up to my highest vision rather than to live down to my sense of safety and convenience. And I'm in a store going to buy the organic apples, and it's like, $2.97 a pound, that's bullshit, man. You know, and I came with a good reason why I can't afford that. And I walked away and I stopped and I said, what is that thing you say, Derek, about acting as if, and what would you do if you really believed what you say you're believing and trying to believe? I said, yeah, but it's a ripoff, man. It's not fair. and it's like, yeah, but what would you do if you really believed? And it's like, I would buy those apples. And I literally felt like I was going to go broke buying apples.
That's exactly what I just
Anybody?
went through.
Anybody?
Yeah.
And so, but I really wasn't. So when I just calmed myself down and I thought it through, and I'm like, what is it really? An extra $5? But here's what I mean. There's a lot of those moments. And it could also be, I'm walking by somebody that, you know, there's a little thing to give at the counter, you know, a little, and if I was the abundant person, I want to be generous and generative and circulate, I would find every opportunity to give. And I would find myself, be like, would you like to give $1 this? And I'd be like, how dare they? You know, like, you know, everywhere I go, everybody wants something. And I was like, but what's the practice? It's like, it's $1. And so I would just give $1. And then I just started to get excited and make fun, looking for ways to just give $1 here, a quarter there, or whatever there. And this is just, we're talking about circulation and abundance right now, but there's other things, whatever the quality is that's lacking, you know, more love in your life, more creativity, more joy. I can't write a whole fucking book. Okay, just write 100 words every day. You gotta find a practice, okay? And then you wanna be talking to yourself all the time, and you now have to be vigilant at the door of your consciousness. When people are talking about there's not enough good jobs, or the economy sucks, or it's so hard to make a living, or, oh my God, I'm so sorry for you, oh, you poor, you have to now be vigilant and keep your consciousness clean. Mm-hmm. Even if people are like, if you seem like you're arrogant or aloof or dismissive, you don't let anybody sully your consciousness. You've got enough stuff going on in there to deal with. So it's these kinds of practices you develop, and don't try to do it all at once, but sit down and make a list of all the different ways you can apprentice under the truth that I am more than enough, I have more than enough, and life fully and completely supports me abundantly. I used to stand in front of the mirror too and just give affirmations and be like, you know, whatever that affirmation was, you know, I'm happy, 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 or whatever it is. People like me. And then I would do what's called 3D affirmations, which is say it in all three persons. I am abundantly supplied and all of life loves me and supports me. And then I'd say, Derek is abundantly supplied and all of life supports him. That's spiritual gossiping. It's like talking behind my back, but good stuff. And then looking, you, Derek, you are abundantly supplied. And I go, yeah, I am abundantly supplied. Yeah, you are. Yeah, that guy, Derek, he is so abundantly supplied. Yeah, man. Yeah, you're right. Derek is abundantly supplied. You're awesome, dude. You know, and I would just go into a reverie and a riff until I just worked myself up into an affirmative frenzy. And then I would sit down, feel the buzz, feel the activation, and meditate on that frequency. Soak it in. That was my affirmative workout. And I would do that every single day. But are you starting to get, you're like, oh crap, I didn't realize this truth thing and this living my life's work and becoming who I really want to be, so much work. I actually have to think about this every day. I have to actually work on myself, and it's not because you're broken. It's not about working on yourself to fix you. It's doing the work that activates more of you, that pulls more of you out, that embraces and embodies more of you. And the answer is yes, every day. Why? Because you're already doing it every day. You're just doing it by default. Every day, all of your life, you've been letting things in, people, places, objects, and activities. You've been talking to yourself all day long. You've been taking actions. You've designed a life and had designed a life, in some cases, largely by default, largely out of protection, security, based on the false map of reality and your limited self-concept. And then you've been going on and working your ass off every day to stay in alignment with that particular map of your reality and your self-concept. You just been doing it automatically and by default. And now you have to take back control of that, and you have to now do it consciously and collaboratively. And you're gonna do it anyways, you're just gonna be doing it unconsciously. So it takes a little more energy at first to make something conscious, right? Just like driving a stick shift. At first it's really hard and you gotta think about it all and you can't think about anything else. And then eventually it's just automatic, right? It's the same thing. And if you want to get back to your full self and activate your full potential, there is no other way other than in some cases, tremendous disaster. So you can feel the urgency of emergence and wait till it's a true emergency and crisis and be dragged kicking and screaming into heaven in wholeness, or you can choose to go voluntarily. Who here wants to go voluntarily?
Oh yeah.
Good. Anybody not? Anybody like getting dragged, kicking and screaming? Let's be honest, sometimes we like a little spiritual S&M, right? Right? Tell me how bad I am. Right? Come on, it's not just me, right? I'm not the only freak here.
This seminar took a very strange turn just now.
Sorry.